In today's video, we're gonna take a trip down memory lane and show you some of our favorite projects from 2022.
Scrolling back through all of our projects made us realize just how much we did in this past year. So we hope you enjoy getting to see these little snippets of all of the transformations that have happened in this past year and that it inspires you in your own projects.
For our first big project of the year, Andrea came out swinging and we did a dream closet makeover.
This thing was such a mess, and even though it was a great size, it wasn't functioning very well for us. So I dreamed up my ideal plan for this space and got to work.
We started by cleaning everything out of the closet and then we removed all of the existing shelves.
Rather than building all of the drawers from scratch, I decided to use dressers that I picked up at IKEA. Then, with a lot of plywood, I started building all of the shelves and boxes for hanging space. Then I trimmed everything out and added new drawer fronts so they would be flush with the trim. Next, I painted everything this beautiful dark gray green color, which is actually the same color as our kitchen cabinets. Once the paint was dry, I added this stunning floral wallpaper that went perfectly with the paint color and added a fun pop of pattern. And then finally, I added hardware and all of the finishing touches, and our dream closet was complete.
And I just love the way this closet turned out. I mean, this has been almost a year ago now, but I still love going in that space. It's beautiful, it functions well. It's one of my favorite projects that you've ever done.
Yeah, this is one of those projects that I had on my list for a long time, and it was so fun to finally do it. And yes, it has been almost a year and we still love this closet. We've been able to keep it clean, and I would say it is functioning really well for us.
Our next project in 2022 was the biggest project that we had ever put on YouTube up to that point. Our friends hired us to make over their main living spaces, and we got to throw in a lot of surprises along the way. We started with the kitchen, and of course, step one was demo, which was pretty intense, but we made the most of it.
We removed some of the cabinets so we could slightly adjust the layout and removed the entire old island as it was about 6 inches lower than standard counter height.
We put this on a scale, it actually weighs 1,072 pounds.
I think it might.
It's incredible.
Next, we built a new custom island that was the correct height and also gave them some added storage as well as improved the walking space. Our final build before moving on to paint was a custom vent hood. At this point, things were definitely starting to look worse before they got better. But thankfully, the next step was paint, and that's when you can really start to see the vision come to life. Painting this kitchen was a pretty massive job because we also painted all of the ceilings and walls too, but it was totally worth it. We went with this deep blue-gray color, and it completely transformed the look of this space. Next, we had quartz countertops installed and then started on a high-impact, budget-friendly backsplash. Our friends love a sort of laid-back coffee shop vibe, and so I decided to use faux brick panels all the way to the ceiling for a dramatic effect. I added joint compound for a little more realistic texture and then painted all of it the same white we used on the walls. Things really started to come together as we had new vinyl plank flooring installed and got hardware on all of the cabinets. We added wood floating shelves and new brass pendants over the island.
But the big surprise in this kitchen was that we got you guys involved and y'all helped raise over $4,000 so that we could not only replace some of their broken appliances, but we could get them all new matching appliances. And finally, we were ready to reveal this kitchen to our unsuspecting friends.
Wow, it looks so good. This is amazing. Magic, man. And the dishwasher.
Well, those are additions.
I was like, those are awesome. We don't.
Wow.
Whose dishes
Wow.
are those? So they're yours.
They're your dishes.
My dishes? They're yours, yeah.
Your dishes.
Oh, so neat. I didn't even. Look at that. Magic.
Yeah, these handles are looking so good.
Aren't these nice? Next, it was time to move into the living room, and I started by giving everything a fresh coat of white paint. The biggest project in this room was building a custom wall of shelves. I used 2x10s that I stay in a medium wood tone to complement the flooring, and then I installed them using metal shelf brackets that I bought on Amazon. We left space for a new frame TV and a black media cabinet for some extra storage. I also built a simple wood mantle to match the new shelves. This next part was probably my favorite of the entire renovation.
For sure.
We had a furniture company sponsor the project and send all new furniture for the living room, but our friends had no idea.
Hey, William and Andrea, we got some surprises for you. Woo! Santa's sleigh is ready to go. What are you guys thinking what I'm thinking?
I don't have the legs for it. We kept this secret for months, and then all in one day, we brought all of the furniture over, finished out the space with help from my friend Justine, and then revealed it to our friends when they got home from work. Okay, open your eyes. That's why I was like, don't buy a sectional.
It's gorgeous.
Do you know how long I've had to keep this secret?
This is gorgeous.
Okay, maybe I do shock well.
This is so sweet. It's beautiful. Man.
Oh my
Don't get it. Man.
I think I was more excited about this than the kitchen. Today we were like,
This
I feel
is so
like
good.
it totally feels different. Like everything about it
Yep.
is different.
Dude.
Yes.
That chair is awesome.
This
And like
is
all four of our kids fit in it.
Let me just get a...
Oh man, come on, dude! Come on!
Both fit
Come
in
on!
here. So after an amazing living room reveal, it was time to move into their dining room.
This was a small space, but I really wanted to do something fun and special in here. We started by painting the top half of the walls with a fun pop of color. I painted the bottom half white in preparation for installing board and batten. Next, I built a custom banquette for extra seating and some hidden storage. After installing the bench, I finished up the board and batten. I finished off the banquette by making custom cushions upholstered in a faux leather.
What a looker.
I added these fun hanging cushions on the wall, which I felt really added to the cozy coffee shop feel. Finally, we switched out the light fixture, added new art, and brought in new furniture, and this room was ready to reveal.
3, 2, 1, go!
Nice, very fancy.
Wow, that looks so good.
Like, what a nice use of the space.
Wow. Isn't this good?
This is so nice.
Good.
It is built-in nook.
It's a little built-in nook. It's so like.
Yes.
Wow. This is so like
good
a
looking.
coffee shop kind of.
Yeah.
It feels like a booth at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Cool.
I like it.
This table's fun.
Yeah, what's up with this?
This is so
The color.
Wow.
Just
Isn't
everything.
it so cool? I was like, what a cool room.
It really is good. Yes. Dude, Andrea.
Yeah.
Man, killing it. Ding.
Did you see the pictures?
And the space is just so.
It feels so bigger.
Dean and Andrew, y'all are killing it. Killing it, man. This is beautiful. So good. So humbling. So awesome.
It's so
Thank
beautiful.
you, God. And thank you, Davises, and just everybody, man.
Then the last room we worked on in their house was their walk-in pantry.
Since their kitchen was lacking any sort of pantry, they added this space off the back of their garage, and so we had a completely blank canvas to start with. We wanted another fun pop of color, and so started by painting the walls a deep, vibrant green.
And while Andrea was inside painting, I couldn't exactly take the camera in there, so I was outside making one of our most memorable moments of the year. All right, I'm closing you in. Okay, so I got way too carried away. Jeez, that hurt. That was the most replayed clip of the entire year, I would say.
Might be, yeah. He hasn't been the same since. Once all the paint was dry, I installed a fun wallpaper on the back wall. Then I continued the same flooring we used throughout the rest of the house into the pantry. Next, I installed floating shelves all down the main wall and then finished out the space with bins, baskets, and a coffee bar area down at the end. With that, this space was finished and we were ready for the final reveal of this project.
There you go. Hide the eyes. Hide the eyes.
Oh, I was thinking about it, right? Oh, it looks so good! Oh, the labels look so good!
There you go.
Like the basket, the fingers, the perfect. Awesome.
What do you think, boys?
It's awesome, right?
Oh, it
Mom,
looks so
everything's
good.
labeled.
Looks so good.
Well, this project in total took about 3 months and tons of hard work, but in the end, it looked so amazing and our friends were just beside themselves. It was really a meaningful and fun project.
And at this point, we probably should have taken some sort of really long break, but we decided we would jump right into our next project.
Why not? With summer coming up quickly, we decided to upgrade our backyard and install a backyard pool. And so we spent a ton of time and sweat tilling up the soil and leveling that spot out. Hold on to her, darling! Once we finally finished leveling out the spot, we pulled out the boxes for the pool and started setting it up. A few hours later, we were ready to start filling up the pool and our kids started getting really excited. As the pool filled up, Andrea started setting up the pool pump and I did some cleanup. Then to make this space really special, Andrea decided to build a deck for the pool, which was a massive undertaking. And then, as if that wasn't enough, we added some landscaping to finish off this space. And with that, we had an awesome backyard pool and our kids were going nuts over it. And again, at this point, we probably should have taken a long nap, but instead, we started into our second huge project series of the year, another full house renovation. We started with the kitchen, and there was a lot of demo to be done.
Demo team, demolition day!
Whoa, babe.
You have been bested! After some major demo, Andrea started into one of her biggest and most complicated projects of the year, building custom kitchen cabinets. Building these cabinets was about 100 little different jobs, and it took almost 2 weeks to finish them, but finally we were ready to take them over to our friend's house and test them out in the space. We couldn't install them quite yet because we had to wait on drywall, but it was so exciting to see the cabinets in the space. Andrea also built a custom vent hood with a really cool curved detail, and again, this was a big job. While we waited for drywall, we moved on to a different project and created arches in the doorways that led into the kitchen. Dun 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 dun! Our friends loved arches, and so we wanted to incorporate those in a few different places in the home, the first being here leading into the kitchen.
Once drywall was finished, we installed the cabinets and then started the painting process. Painting kitchen cabinets is always such a massive job, and this time was no different. It was a lot of work, and there were definitely some late nights. After painting, it was time for the countertops to be installed, which is always super exciting. Then finally, we installed all of the cabinet doors and drawer fronts, the hardware, and put the finishing touches on this kitchen. Which included adding glass doors to the hedge cabinet and installing wood floating shelves. And I just can't believe how much this space was transformed.
So after completing a major renovation in the kitchen, we moved on to the living room.
First, we added an arch detail to the built-in bookcases that mimicked the arches that led to the kitchen.
Next, Andrea had another big job to do, and she removed the current mantle and then refaced the entire fireplace with stucco. It was a big job, but it made for a beautiful transformation in the room.
Next, we painted the built-ins the same beautiful deep teal color that we used in the kitchen, and the room really started to take on a new look. And then finally, it was time to start putting things back on the shelves, bring in the new furniture, rug, and curtains, and reveal this space to our friends.
Oh man, this room looks.
This is shucks. I'm like, let me just sit in it for hours on end and then cry.
So after a beautiful living room transformation, we moved into the dining room. Andrea started with a really cool gallery wall using a lot of art that they already had. After that, Andrea had this idea to build a custom mirror frame, and it looked so good in the space. In the end, this space looked incredible, and it really fit our friend's style and aesthetic. And then for our final room in the house, we moved on to a guest bathroom.
For this bathroom, I actually didn't have to do any of the work since it was happening at the same time that we were working in the rest of the house, but I did get to design everything. After figuring out the design and making selections, all we had to do was pop in from time to time and check in on the progress.
I like it.
It's looking really good. Once it was finally finished, I just love the way it turned out with the pink tile going all the way to the ceiling and the new double sink and the terrazzo floors. Everything just turned out so good.
So then finally, after 3 really big projects, we actually did take a little break and we took a trip to beautiful Sedona, Arizona. The trip was a much needed respite and we made some amazing memories. So it's hard to tell, but we are way up here. It's so beautiful. It's insane. So once we got back, we realized we'd been working outside of our house for about 6 months of the year, and so we decided to turn our attention back into our own house and give some of the rooms here some love and care.
Some loving care.
I was thinking like TLC.
Tender loving care.
We decided to work on some rooms in our house there. The first room in our house that we gave some tender loving care was our kids' playroom.
The first big change in the playroom was adding shiplap up half of the wall in the art area. Next, we decided to remove the old rock climbing wall since our kids had all outgrown it and build a giant bulletin board for them to display their artwork. Then, after a lot of prep getting ready to paint, we finally painted everything a dark olive green. One of the last projects for this space was building a rolling library ladder.
It was so cool.
Finally, it was time to put everything back on the shelves, add a rug and pillows, and then show it to our kids.
I'm getting up on the ladder! No! And that's it?
So once we finished the playroom inside, we decided it was time to move outside and give the front of our house a makeover. Once the weather finally started cooling down, it was time for a front yard project. First, we cleaned up the flower beds, picked out a ton of new plants, and then spent the better part of a day planting everything. Finally, we added some fresh mulch and a couple of new planters, and our front yard was looking very much improved. But that wasn't the end of our outdoor makeover. Andrea decided to blow a huge hole in the front of our house and replace our front door.
Okay, I didn't mean to blow a huge hole in the front of our house. It was supposed to be a quick, easy job, but of course, anything in construction that is supposed to be a quick, easy job is often not a quick, easy job. I don't think it's gonna fit, and I don't know what to do about it.
We're gonna lose some windows. Are we cool with that?
Long story short, we ended up having to make a much bigger hole than planned and had to totally reframe for the new door.
It was just a minor job, you could say, just a small one.
The next day, I stained and sealed the door. Then I finished all of the trim around the door, inside and out. Finally, we painted all of the new trim and our brand new door was looking so good.
So after we finished up at the front of our house, it was time for our most requested build ever, or maybe most suggested build ever. People started noticing that we carried our miter saw around a lot because we didn't have a workbench for it. Feels like some sort of strange CrossFit workout. I hate this thing. You're so heavy! Yeah. That's the strength that I needed. So after a long time in coming, we finally broke down and Andrea built a rolling workbench for the miter saw. Unbelievable.
Try not to hit the minivan, huh? It's also provided great storage and has made finding my tools a lot easier.
So that brings us to the final build of the year, and this one might be one of the most elegant builds of the year.
I attempted to build a designer coffee table from scratch at a fraction of the cost. But unfortunately, the first attempt did not go so well. Okay, so I came out here last night, started trying to get some sample stain, and I'm honestly having a bit of a panic moment because I have never tried staining pine a dark color, and it is soaking up that dark stain a lot. And so I'm getting this kind of zebra striped effect, which I don't want. For the second attempt, we took a trip to a specialty lumber store to get white oak in a new stain. It was a bit of a hard pill to swallow, having to do a lot of the same work twice, but in the end, this coffee table turned out so beautiful, and I absolutely love the way it looks in our living room.
Oh, baby. So that is a highlight reel of our favorite projects here in 2022. But really, we just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching and following along with our weekly DIY adventures. We just really appreciate you guys and your support.
We also hope we've inspired some of you to take on some of your own amazing projects this year.
So that's all from us in 2022. We hope you're having an amazing holiday season, and we'll see you next year, as in like in a few days. I drank too much eggnog.
Yeah, I need some whatever you had. I'm dragging today.
Actually, I had some of the kids' puppy chow, and I'm feeling yay.
Rude.
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 Do your kids ever do that to you? And you're like holding a book and you're kind of like tired, and they're like, read. Dad, Read.
Our kids would do.
I'd be like, huh? What?
You'd be falling asleep reading bedtime stories. They'd go, read. It looked like you're going like this. Oh, you messed up.
I was trying not to poop. I didn't write that right, did I?
A lot bunch of hours.
So we spent a lot bunch
I'm like
of hours.
trying to read it while you're, and I'm like, what does that say?
And voila.
I wasn't going to say anything.
It sounded great on paper, and then I said it out loud, and I was like, voila. And then I was like, oh. Living room, dining room, and a guest bathroom. Come on! What are you saying ow about?
I'm so sore.
Oh, get out of here about this. I worked out yesterday, and I'm so sore.
Touched my muscles, and they hurt.
Oh, Mickey Licky Laka, Moko Licky Laka. How do you say that?
Why are you saying that?
I don't know.
What does that mean?
It just felt right. Malaka Licky Laka.
I have absolutely no idea what you're saying. Is that a song?
I think so. Anyways,
I don't
it's like
listen
a
to it. I
Hawaiian
don't
Christmas
listen to
song
any
or
new
something.
songs. Is it a new
It's
song?
not a new song.
Oh, well.
It's super old. All right.